Hello again. Good afternoon, or good evening, or good morning, dependent on wherever you're from, or what gender you are. I had a message the other day from the Facebook page, Mark's Naughty Guitars on Facebook, asking me what tools I use to set up a guitar, and rather than list all the tools, because it can be quite expensive, I thought I'd show you. Let me sort this box out. Right, in this box here, it's some of the tools that I typically use for measuring and things that I need to hand when I'm doing the setup. There's a lot more tools involved when you get into the nitty gritty of it, when you're actually doing lutherie, you know, or high-teching on a guitar, you know, such as fret leveling and stuff and refretting. But this is typically just what I use on setups, really, when it's completely just about altering the height of the string and the nut and how it plays and stuff, and the truss rod. So you'll have to bear with me on this. Tell you what, no, I'm gonna have to do it like this. I'll get everything out. So starting here, we have a selection of truss rod spanners and hex wrenches. These ones are for like, where's the camera on here? I like the Gibson type ones. Great to use them as well. And down here, typical truss rod sizes of hex key, or Allen wrench as we call them in Worcestershire, Fostershire, and a couple of little ones that are used typically, like that be an import Strat, and that's a USA Strat. I'm sorry if the focus is out, I ain't got a clue, can't see anything on there. Here, got a fret rocker, which keep nice and polished. That's for testing the level of the frets over a span of 3 frets. If you can hear a rocking in it, that ain't good. Usually rocking's good, but not in that case. Onto the next tray. Couple of string height gauges. These are for measuring accurately. I bet you can't see it, can you, because of the light. These are for measuring string heights and stuff accurately. And onto radius gauges in this bit. A couple of these type ones, and radius gauges. There's no real need for a radius gauge for setting the string heights, as long as you can tell the height of the string from the fret accurately. Into this bit, I've got me ratchet, my string winder, and a protractor. Sometimes I use that for like assessing the neck angles, the break angles and stuff. We've got a feeler gauge. This one does both metric and imperial. It does country and western, both kinds of music. But yeah, feeler gauge, you'd use them for feeling gauges with. A small engineer's ruler. In the bottom, are we going to see this? I've got a nice analog tuner that I've used for years for setting up stuff. I like this because it's got a nice needle. You know, it ain't jittery. It's not all over the place or anything. It's a nice, you know, smooth action on the travel of the needle. So I always use that. I use the Polytune clip as well. Where's that? Down here. I use the Polytune clip as well to double check everything. What else we got in the bottom? A capo or a capo, as some people call them. We use these a lot when setting guitars up, just to hold the strings off at the first fret, and then like it saves you from having to take all the strings off when you're going to take a bolt-on neck off a body and that. You just loosen the strings, whack that on under the neck, whack it off, whack on, whack off. That's what we're all about. Bit of a cleaning cloth. Now this is a good thing when you're if you're building a guitar, or if you're reconstructing a guitar that's gone bad or whatever. When you set the neck back in, look, we put like a string. It's normally a piece of string, not a metal string, a guitar string, or just a normal, string. But over the nut and at the saddle as well, on the E strides, top E and bottom E, so you can check the reveal of the neck to make sure that the neck is sitting right in the pocket, so it's at the right angle and that, so that like the strings on either side should be equidistant to each other, running down the outsides of the neck. But string's a bit finicky to work with because it's got no tension. So what I do, I'm not saying this is the best method, but it's a better method than string. This is like elastic monofilament kind of thing. It's what jewelry users make necklaces and stuff out of. It's like fishing line, but it's elastic. So I have a length. I bet I've got some made up. Hold on. Let me put this away before I make a mess. Right. There we go. I've got some of these. I've put a knot in either end. There we go. I put a knot in either end, and one end goes over the machine head at the top, over the nut, down the neck, and ties off at the bridge down the bottom. And because they're elastic, you can get some tension in them, so you can see exactly what's going on, rather than a baggy piece of string or whatever. Got a couple of markers, got a marker and a detail pen. I've got an emergency neck rest if I'm doing stuff and I ain't got my normal wooden neck rests. What's in the back? Jack. Ooh, I've got one of these. This is a 40 times magnification eye loop with a light on it. Sometimes you need to get really close into the work to do stuff. This is just a depth gauge. This is for testing tyres with the tread depth of automotive tyres, but I've adapted it for use with guitars. In here, I think you probably know what this is. It's a digital caliper that you use for fine measuring and stuff. In here, these are rubbish, but I've got some nice ones, but they're not here at the minute. These are oh fucking, I can't show you. These are nut files. These are really cheap ones and they're very fucking nasty. I don't suggest using these unless you know what you're doing. 3 of them cut pretty much the same size, so you have to be really careful which one you use on which slot. They don't correlate to how they should to real slots. But that's basically what I use, like, that I need to hand when I'm doing a setup. There's lots of other tools involved. Let me put that away. There's lots of other tools involved. Am I going to show you all my fucking soldering stuff? No. No, that's another time. But yeah, lots of other tools involved. I'll show you a few quickly. If you're going to be able to see this, I don't know. This is all my twisty turny stuff. Anything that needs twisting or turning, everything's in there to do it. In here is my nippies. Anything you need to nip stuff with is in there. And files, saws, things like that. Here's a box of spares. Is this even in focus? Box of spares and bits and bobs. All my electrics, cables and leads. There's a drawer full of bits and bobs that I use, and a drawer full of consumables, masking tape, wool, masks and everything. There's quite a few other bits as well that I'd use sometimes in a setup if the guy wants the fret leveling done. Sorry, I've got a really dry mouth. The tablets that I take at night really dry your mouth out. It's like Gandhi's flip-flop in there. But yeah, they're just some of the tools that I use when typically doing a setup. So that's all from me. Baked potato.